Right, I have to put
command
on
them.
the swear warning because you people. Um,
We're not that bad usually, hopefully.
Yeah. We're not all Canadian.
hey, we swear.
Some
Here,
of us come
we
from
just
better colonies.
so Australia.
I'm going to kill you.
It's from Virginia.
I mean, there's only
Which
one
one's Virginia?
cod choker right here.
And probably say it here as well. Posty. There we go. All right. On the back of all that warm and fuzziness, hello everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbidian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today is, believe it or not, despite what the title screen would suggest, it is another episode of Star Trek Return to the Frontier, but we're no longer on the Andromeda. We have been reassigned to a brand new ship, but in a whole new mission. So let's see what that turns out to be. Throw it over to the GM.
And I to the Commodore.
Commodore's log. Stardate 1083.4 aboard the USS Thralic. It has been over 1 year since the incident at Kadorn. Much of the crew of the Andromeda has, after proper commendations for their role in saving billions of lives and ending a planet-wide system of oppression, been reassigned to the Hermes CD class USS Thralic, a recently refit destroyer from the extremely skilled engineers of the Andorian Imperial Shipyard. But even after everything that has happened, our mission remains the same: to explore the unknown, to patrol the far reaches of the Federation, and to be a beacon of hope for those who have lost theirs. End log. And for the first time, I think, in any game I've ever played, we don't have any directives.
But they will come as the episode continues. This is a one-thread game.
The most deadly of games.
I thought that was Hunting Man.
Look, don't
No,
tell the humans that we do
that
that,
is-
all right?
No, that is the most dangerous game.
That was craps.
None of the names are at the bottom, including mine.
There you go.
There we go. Not one momentum gain, one thread
Sounds like a
gain.
kill issue.
That when that happens, you just need to refresh. That was the issue I was having for so very long. I have given it to you now.
All right. We go to the bridge of the USS Fleet Admiral Raya Thralic.
Oh.
What? I don't get a dedicated engineering console yet? Lame.
You would have to argue with the designers of 2E. There is no dedicated engineering console, but it is one of the common setups for the multi-role console.
Some engineers never leave the engineering bay because they get bonuses for being down there.
Yeah, that is a good thing to point out.
Even Montgomery Scott left the engineering bay and had a console on the bridge. That's all I'm saying. Even Montgomery Scott.
He does. He would occasionally change one of the multi-roles into an engineering console.
I don't believe that.
I
don't believe you could change it back after he was done with it. I'll put it that way.
I believe this discussion might be a bit aside from everything, and I think you can be content knowing we will leave that console in the engineering setup if that would so please you, Revere.
I will take
no guff.
Sensors Science, difficulty 2, assisted by ships. Reason Science, difficulty 2, assisted by ships. Sensor Science, as I almost revealed too early that the science officer new character is actually a starship.
Yes.
He's like,
I mean, you say that, but I'm plugging into the ship.
We can.
Right, Corby, you might need to adjust the warnings on the game.
Hey.
Oh my god.
I said it first. That was my joke.
Well, I stole
Which
it.
is just rerolls, and then technical expertise is also rerolls. So yes.
You know what's
Give you
not
a threat.
rerolls? Your heart.
What? Yeah, no, that's a one
Oh,
dumb thing.
I haven't added it to the actual ship sheet yet. Artana, you're going to
Here.
want to add that talent,
What?
your arc talent,
Oh,
to
I see how
the
it is.
actual Thralix sheet.
You do the work. I get it. It's fine.
It's gonna
Also,
take me a
I
moment to
enjoyed
adjust
setting
the-
this ship up and firmly establishing that over 100 years before the Thralic that was the player character joined Starfleet, there was already a ship named after her clan. So that was probably a heavy load to carry going into
You know,
the
it
academy.
makes my character's unreasonable self-expectations make so much more sense.
It
Mhm.
does. I can't see the ship, so I've got no idea if it helps in any way, shape, or form. However, I'll give you a threat and for 3 dice, and then we'll see what happens.
Also, just cool that Thralic
Both you
I can
originally
and the
reroll
started
ship
as
that.
a
rolled
supporting
complications.
character.
Yeah, don't worry. I can. Oh, the ship also rolled a complication on a 19.
It did.
Oh,
On a
Okay.
It
19?
rolled a 19 and a 1, but this is no longer the Andromeda. You don't have advanced sensors, so it only counts the first die, which is a complication.
19's a complication here?
yeah. I'm asking how a 19's a complication.
Oh, I assumed you did something, and that was why it was set to 19.
No.
No, I can't even see the ship sheet.
I-
That or I can't find
You
it because I'm
sh-
stupid. I don't know.
You probably aren't finding it. It's under Starship Database, Starfleet, 10th Fleet. If you didn't open the 10th Fleet folder, you probably
There it is.
missed
Yeah, yep. Got you. Yeah, no, I didn't touch that at all.
It just does
In fact,
that.
its
Ships do that
complication
sometimes.
range is still set to a 1. I think anything that's not a success is a complication for ships, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as rolling that goes. Yeah, no, I haven't done shit to that. However, I do have both technical expertise, which means being assisted by the ship means I get to re-roll one of my dice or one of the ship's dice, and neural interface means the same thing
Ish.
for me, at least. So I can re-roll my complication. And I didn't complicate. And then we can re-roll the ship's die, just to find out. Where is the ship's die?
There you go.
Look at that.
That's 7 successes on a difficulty 2.
That's stupid.
You're welcome.
That's a Ven roll.
No, he rolled more than 2 dice.
Ha ha ha.
Yes. I'm not quite a starship yet.
Is becoming a starship in the cards for you?
Oh, put him
That
in an
is a
EV
personal
suit
question.
and toss him out the airlock, and he's a just very small starship.
Commander Ivanov, you complete a brief survey of the surrounding space. You are near the border, but in a relatively empty area of space. However, your scans do pick up a small vessel approximately 0.6 light years away.
Captain, we are where we expect to be, but there is a small craft or small vessel, I should say, about, you said 6 kilometers away?
0.6 light years.
0.6 light years away.
GM, just to get this established one way or the other, do we travel with a small shuttle or pod hard docked?
No.
No.
Okay.
You can't, if you come across a shuttle, it can dock with the ship, but you don't have the internal bays to
Right, but
permanently carry a shuttle.
yeah, but I ask because on the Hermes description it says you can have travel pods or small shuttlecraft hard docked with the vessel, which I read as you could have one just hard docked outside and you could use it. So
I was assuming that that is not the standard procedure. If Starfleet wanted it that way, it would have a secondary hull with a shuttle bay. So that's like a neat feature that can be used occasionally, like saucer separation, but
Okay.
it's not like the intended use
no,
of
that's
the
cool.
ship.
Okay, GM, I assume we're just on a standard patrol path. There's no other concerns at current.
You are patrolling the border of the Klingon Empire, which
Okay.
is 2 years into a small-scale civil war.
Understood. Then she is going to say, understood, Science. Can you confirm which side of the border it's on?
Yes. I'm assuming it's on the Klingon side of the border.
You have your free science officer question?
Yes, I do. I will ask that.
No, it is on your side of the border.
Oh, lovely. And let me ask one more question for momentum here. What model or design of ship is it? I should say design, just in case you want to be broad with Federation, Klingon, etc.
It conforms to several Orion Syndicate design patterns.
Oh, lovely. So I have the Talon
Those being,
rapid
I'll clarify.
hypothesis.
I'll add more information to that.
Yeah.
Those design patterns being that it is a relatively small vessel that seems to have a lot more cargo space than living or engineering space, and that its engines are a size category higher than the Federation would consider putting on a ship of that size.
Got you. Okay. Interesting. Curious. So yes, I have the Talon rapid hypothesis, which is once per scene, when asked 2 or more questions using obtained information, I may immediately create a trait representing my theoretical understanding of the subject of those questions.
Okay.
God.
Of which I have a
Yeah.
theoretical understanding of this. I'm assuming. I had the name for half a second.
Orion.
The smuggling ship. I'm guessing.
I would definitely allow you to create the trait. Well, I'm thinking, how would the trait? I'm trying to how to phrase that in a way that would be useful for you in the future.
Or actually, a trait in regards to the ship is probably in regards to that ship or the particular route it's taking. Was my thought.
I'll create the trait smuggling suspect. That way, basically, that trait representing that anything you do based off of this, you started from a reasonable place. Like if you decide to investigate, you didn't stop a random commercial vessel with no forethought.
I will. and you know, it appears to be some vessel of Orion design or inclination, and is on our side of the border at present time. My suspicion would be potentially a smuggler for one side or the other, or a profiteer of some kind.
A reasonable conclusion to draw. Communications, see if you can call them.
Aye, Commodore. I'll start trying to ping hails at them to see if they come back to me in my ear.
Control Engineering, assisted by ship's communications engineering, difficulty 0. They are relatively close, and this is not a unstable area of space.
Oh yeah, don't
Politically unstable, but maybe not unstable in the way you mean.
comm systems focus
Is-
presumed.
Physically unstable.
Ship automatically rolls a 2. I'm a comms officer.
3 successes.
This is USS Thralic, hailing unidentified vessel. Please respond.
You get a return signal that has a video component.
Getting video reply from hail, Commodore.
I'm on screen.
Tap, tap, tap. Press turn switch.
You see an Orion man on a small bridge. A couple of others behind him. And he says, "You want travel documents, Starfleet?"
Yes, we have had quite a recent problem with smugglers bringing in undesirable objects into the Klingon Empire. I'm sure you're well aware of the political instability there. Do you have proper authorization to be crossing the border?
All right, we will transmit many documents.
Solaris like turns towards the first officer and gives him a look of be ready for bullshit. Transmit your documents. Where are you
Ready for
coming
bullshit
from?
eye.
Where are you coming from and where are you headed towards?
This Orion
Mm-hmm.
is going to spend 2 threat,
Oh God.
and
Here we go.
he's that is his from his personal pool, and he's going to say, "We are traveling from your colony world Andromeda. We have goods from to take to the Klingons." That seems reasonable to you. I mean, you have recently gotten many requests come across your desk to allow cross-border activity.
That does seem reasonable to me, but is he allowed to be crossing the border with such
Oh
materials?
no, he seems totally on board. Like, this is totally reasonable and responsible for him.
For him. Okay.
No, he's on the up and up.
All right, she's going to say, understood. What is the manner of goods from the colony Andromeda you are sending, and to where in the Klingon Empire are you bringing them?
Many biological samples in the Klingon world. Its name, I don't think either you or me could pronounce it.
Klingon biological samples from a Federation colony?
Aratana, I will take a insight security difficulty opposed.
Very good. They're defending, I believe.
Yeah, she'll continue to make pleasant small talk with him, hoping, maybe even naively believing he is just a legitimate businessman caught up in this mess.
He could be. There's Orion. Not every Orion's a part of the syndicate. Some of them are just free traders.
And I imagine there's plenty of legitimate reasons to be crossing the border in the state, delivering medical supplies, food, what have you. He might even be a humanitarian.
Could be a profiteer and be like, oh, I'm selling lots of tchotchkes and tourist goods. Like, okay, I mean, it's a bit.
Spent his last threat.
He's ferrying tourists who want to come watch the Klingon battles.
Yeah.
It'll be just like those operas that the Klingons like to beam into our space.
But real.
That's 2 successes for him.
Does the hunter trait kick in?
Yes.
Okay.
You have a lot of experience in a past life with ferreting out smugglers.
Now, does the suspected smuggling suspect potential trait also assist him? I gotta ask.
Pull these back.
It's a reasonable
Yes,
ask.
I'll
You
take
made
that.
the
I
trade.
was wondering whether or not it had enabled this, but I think no. I think y'all had reasonable action all up until this point, so I think it's just a bonus here.
Very good. I'll just grab a die just to. Nah, we're full. There's no reason to do that. It's diff 0 now, so. I have a float now.
All of these are legitimate documents, and none of them are at all relevant to this situation. It is, in fact, true that there is a existing license for Vulcan to export radioactive minerals to Earth for manufacturing, and that it's been approved by the Federation Council. Why a copy of that agreement is in here, you have no idea.
It looks official, but it's bullcrap.
Flooding the zone.
Yeah, it's the Gish Gallop.
Insight, Khan, assisted by ship sensors Khan for Griffin. And you can feel free to respond, Aratana. This is happening as you realize.
Yeah, I picture, Solorth is making small talk, but she is going to glance over to you because she knows to trust your instincts.
Was planning on spending this float for a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just wondering how across the pale this is. If it's like a minor fine, like you did your paperwork wrong. We just give us the right paperwork and I'll stop caring. Or is it a no, this is illegal what you just tried to do? Like, is it an oopsie, I should remind you, or a no, this is an offense. You can't present this information as truth.
There is theoretically a small offense related to the abuse of Starfleet vessels. It's normally used for people who signal distress unnecessarily. It technically could apply here because you're on a unsecure border, and there is a war on the other side, so that there's a risk of danger that, and you could be being diverted from a ship somewhere else that's in trouble to deal with this. But it's one of those things that would have to go before a judge, and you'd even have to convince a JAG officer to take their time to deal with it. So yes, but difficult to enforce, and not 100% that it applies.
I clicked some switches and I transmit them to your chair. I kind of look over at you. Update and recommendation on your panel, Commodore.
Yeah, she will say, apologies, Captain. I have some information on the crew rotation I must attend to, and she will mute the call and pull up the information.
I believe another roll was happening from our pilot.
And I'm just
Yeah.
keeping a hard look at them like, yeah, I
And
want
that's
to
what
know
the
if that ship
attribute
does
on that
anything
roll was,
weird.
though.
Sorry,
Who's
say that
Insight
again.
Con?
I missed what
Insight
the
con.
attribute was. Insight con, okay.
Insight con. Difficulty 2, assisted by ships. Sensors con.
Cool. I don't believe I have a focus for this. But if you'd like to-
It's going to be related to navigation or courses,
I have
speed.
navigation. So
Yeah, if you have navigation, that would work.
cool. Don't think any of my traits do anything. I'll spend 1 momentum for a threat die.
No, you do have a trait that would apply. Brazen will apply.
Okay, cool. I won't buy a die then.
Oh,
Con.
scroll down. There we go. Oop.
That's 3 hits.
Uh, 1 momentum gained.
Float.
The distance between you and them seems to be opening up.
Oh, they're accelerating.
Or
Yeah.
reversing.
Probably reversing is my guess. He's the com's currently not active, right?
Yeah, I muted the comm.
All right, Captain. They're attempting to gain distance. You want me to stay with them?
More
Please.
power available at your command, Commodore.
Griffin, can you make an inference as to who has the faster speed in this scenario?
I can try.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll spend a moment
that
for that.
will be given to you for free. You have not encountered any ships beyond the occasional encounter with a extremely advanced species that could challenge the Thralic in a chase.
Okay.
Okay, then revise that. This ship, this pilot, no way, Captain. We're gonna beat him every
Yeah.
time.
Solaris nods her head and says, I'm just double checking. And she is going to unmute the comm and she's going to say, my apologies, Captain. I do believe something is missing here. Your forms are in order, but few of them seem relevant to the situation. Do you have proper authorization from the Federation to be crossing into the Klingon border at this time?
Oh, those documents. Yes, transmitting.
Understands that we are a busy vessel, Captain, and that we have much to attend to. I do not like my time wasted.
I will call for an opposed roll. This could either be Artana quickly looking through the documents again, or this could be you and you're talking with him, but it's going to be opposed, and the winner is going to get a trait representing progress here.
All right. Would it be possible for me to talk to him and Aratana to assist as he analyzes the documents?
Well, the problem is that you're starting to get a feeling, but don't yet fully have the proof that he is just buying time. So you don't have time to exhaust all options.
Okay.
So you would need to the focus here is going to fall on whichever of you thinks you can act faster.
I can crush them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Then, so I would like then to assist him as I keep him talking as he analyzes what they send over.
I will not allow that trait in this case because of the Orion species ability. He seems trustworthy, to you.
That's fine.
So there is it's unusual that he is delaying this, and that seems weird to you, but he seems like a trustworthy person. So
Understood. In that case, I will simply keep up narrative small talk with him, and the player will hope Aratana will find something.
I lack
In Revere, Revere will type out on a pad. I don't trust this guy, Commodore. Watch your step, and hand that to her with the strength of trait, trusted friend of Soloris.
I'll take that to override his Orion ability.
Yeah, the captain will nod, and she will simply say, "Yes, that does seem to be a fine preparation for the ambassador's visit."
Thank you, Commodore, and I'll
Artana,
go back to my
Mhm.
place.
Artana, you are defending in this case because he's going to keep providing unnecessary documents. He's trying to attack your ability to sift fast enough.
Very good. Hunter and the trait from our commander.
Yes.
Is this a hidden enemy or danger I'm rolling against?
I would not classify that yet.
Yeah. I figure it didn't rise to that.
Even if he is a smuggler, it would be a stretch to call him an enemy. In only the most technical sense.
Crimes are not violent, yeah, and not against us.
Yeah.
Presence command with a focus in rhetoric.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, you get a reroll from advisor, and why not? I will spend one of my 2 uses of the newly renamed Christopher Pike Medal of Valor, which means that D20 is an automatic 1. So you get 2 free points, 2 free hits, and a reroll. Go ahead.
No. I'm not sure how extra effort would fire here when I'm the defender. I was thinking of using it, but I don't know how would you use it. I would guess I would take whatever stress the amount of hits he gets is the amount of stress I take, because that's me pulling his number down by 1.
Yes.
The extra effort. That's why. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And you know what? Hey, buddy, welcome to the roll of hell. I'm gonna throw the full met of momentum.
Oh wow. Go ahead.
Nope. What? Oh, I upped.
Well, you got
those.
you got a
Neither
reroll
of those
for
are
me.
complication. That was me setting the comp range to 5 for some ridiculous reason.
He got 3 successes. You got 7.
You do have a reroll if you want.
I don't think he needs it.
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you, though.
For momentum gained.
I take 3 stress.
Artana.
Well. Actually, no. I take.
You take 3 stress.
So actually, he got 3, so it's brought down to 2 essentially. Well, yeah, I see what you mean. So we got how much momentum? Sorry, got confused.
Yeah, regardless of if you had free hits, the actual difficulty is 3. So, so 3 stress, and 4 momentum gained.
Yeah.
Oh, might want to make him smaller. Thank you.
You don't even read through the files. You just look at their indexed names, and none of them they're the correct file.
Commodore setting. Commodore updates sent to your panel.
Yes, I We must prepare the proper foods for the ambassador's visit. He's very particular, and she's going to look at what's on there.
Yeah, none of this is right. These are all
Mhm.
false documents. I don't believe they have real documents.
Yeah, she is going to look at them and say,
the
"Oh, good."
the only thing he'll add, just because he's being a little nice, is that he's willing to help them with the proper forms, because technically they have yet to commit a serious offense, but they are starting to get this is starting to rise to a criminal offense if they keep this up.
They've
Yeah.
probably given us grounds of searching, but
We
Yeah.
could board
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
You could
Eve
create a
too.
trait to represent that.
I think that grounds for boarding sounds like a pretty solid trait.
I will throw that under to momentum, and I will. Actually, would Grand Kite order fire here? Am I full of crap? That seems overkill.
No, because if this was about how to board the ship, yes.
Yeah.
But getting the justification, no.
Yeah, very good. But yeah, I'll totally spend a credit trait to kind of point that out. It's like technically, technically we have boarding authorization based on them evading us so much.
So if they fail to correctly provide documentation, there's a risk of you not being able to help them in a moment of distress. And so you have the right to stop and board unregistered ships in an effort to register them. It's not, it doesn't really give you any justification to arrest anybody on the ship, but you can say, hey, you are flying without any identification, stop and let us give you identification.
A safety inspection. It's like, hey, if you're flying through Federation space with Federation numbers, yeah, you have to adhere to certain regulations.
I would take 2 additional momentum for that to justify bringing, if you do board them, bringing additional personnel beyond just a senior officer and a yeoman. That's not to say you couldn't bring additional people, but additional people may
I'll open that
seem
door.
justified.
Yeah.
I'll open
Like
the door in
engineer
case
and
you
medical.
want it. Yeah.
All right. So we have grounds to board them.
You have grounds to board them with a large team that could include security and engineering personnel. And that would
Also-
look legal, and it would look a standard procedure.
Yeah. All right. Then she's going to say, did the captain give me his name?
He did not.
She's going to say, Mr. Captain, you have.
He says, no. Legally, not captain.
Could have told you that.
Legally, officer in charge of communications temporarily.
Yeah. So there's just a flat look on Soloris's face, and she says,
Nice.
Officer of the Orion vessel, you have twice now.
Federation vessel. Federation assigned vessel.
Officer of the Federation vessel, of the vessel currently located at these stellar coordinates. You have twice now refused to comply with a direct inquiry for proper identification papers while flying towards a war zone. This gives us, as enforcers of Federation law, authority to board your vessel and to forcefully ensure that you are registered
Engineering
to
problem.
the Federation.
No time.
I figured you take care of that.
that's a pursuit right
Yeah.
there.
Yep. And she's going to say,
For free, Griffin, you can see that they are powering up for a warp jump.
Recommend tractor
Griffin.
beam, Commodore?
are they at tractor range?
No,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
they're well beyond extreme range at this point.
But engines exist, you see.
Now, I will go ahead and add to the traits.
Yeah.
And the doctor just sort of just turns around and just sort of gives the officer next to him a look of like, are they serious?
Well, they're probably
Griffin-
rabbiting.
Say,
Uh,
"They're telling more
they are 8 zones ahead of you.
Right?
Oh.
Actually, no, I think she'll say, I think we've got a runner, Captain.
Yeah, Slors is going to say,
Runner.
I figured as much. I hope it goes without saying that you must give chase.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything that is going to stop them from going first?
Yeah.
Actually, let me go ahead and add the zones for the Klingon border as well.
Are we supposed to be able to see these zones? Because I'm still looking at the bridge.
Oh no, I put them in traits. There's not a.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a chase, so there's not a.
Yep,
a map
I
or
understand now.
Ba-ba.
The Klingon
Griffin-
border is 20 zones away.
Griffin, you are permitted to use all possible measures. Revere, I would like all power diverted to engines as possible. We cannot stop them if they cross that border.
Aye, Captain. So in that case,
I think we're in combat timing before we get too far ahead.
Yeah,
fair.
You are. That's the question about whether or not you had anything that would stop them from going first. Any talents?
No hesitation.
How
I
are
was
you
just
going to use it?
narratively describing what Slors was ordering.
Yeah, I want to know if they're going first though, because then I use it.
Yes, they are the ones who turned this into a combat timing thing.
My
Okay.
thing fires if they're going first. If they tried to go first. Game Master must spend an additional 2 threat to have an NPC take the first turn.
Spent.
All right, and now I'll give you back one of those threats so we go first instead.
Yep. That's the math.
Okay.
And I have to take the first action then, obviously.
Mhm.
I'd like to make a warp jump to their position.
All right.
Engine score, which is
I don't believe you are ready to go to warp yet.
10. It's just a minor action to prepare.
I thought it was a major action to move the power.
You have to move
Under
powers.
warp,
No.
it calls it out.
I think it's just you use your reserve power.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't
Like,
have
we
to
won't have
assign
reserve
it
power
to.
after this, but we'll have to
I'll double check.
regenerate reserve power, I think. After?
Requires reserve power. You must take a prepare action, minor action to take this action, and then attempt to control con, etc., etc.
Okay.
Okay.
So it
Yeah, as
requires,
long as you.
so it requires reserve power and a minor?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
But we have both those things.
Yeah.
You sure do?
302.
All right. Yep, I'm looking.
Cool.
Control con, difficulty 1, assisted by engines con.
All right. Does Brazen come into play here?
You being
No,
able to do this so quickly kind of implies in my head that you were already had it ready to go to warp before the captain even ordered
Yes,
it.
but I have received the order, so it might not.
Okay.
only 1 point of brazen. The reason you used it before is because, not because you were being brazen, but because you realized you were dealing with someone else who is brazen. So
Brazen can't got it.
there is someone else with the trait brazen, but it's not brazen 2.
Yeah. Awesome. Helm operations focus. Control con. I'm rolling 2 dice. All right, that is 3 hits total, plus the ship.
All right.
which is
We
the thing.
need
2 momentum gained.
Engine score is 10.
Pretty good engine
So you
score.
could either catch up to them or you could go 2 zones past them.
We need to roll a d20 because of improved warp drive. If we roll a 10 or under, we don't have to spend the reserve power to get a warp.
Oh, I'll roll that.
Sweet, we still have reserve power.
Nice. All right. We drop down on top of them.
You can. So you come out of warp right above them. Do you want to come in contact range or at close range?
Close range.
Okay.
I don't want to hit them.
So I'll change that to they have a 0 zone lead.
Mhm.
Okay. And because of my talent, I believe that means we keep the initiative for free. Or we can keep for free.
Which we should to then tractor them immediately.
Yeah,
Tractoring is security, right?
it does.
It is
Yes.
control security assisted by structure security diff 2.
Why don't I do this and I will give. Actually, Griffin, you have the thing where you can do security tasks from Con, right? Does that include this?
Sure, I could just swift task to do this if you want.
Well,
Yeah,
but if
but-
the captain does it for you, you don't get the increased difficulty.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true,
and you get the benefits of my assist. So yeah, once we're warping in there,
Well,
she.
No,
Oh, good.
I have to swift to use that.
Oh, okay.
No, she's going to
Then-
direct you, I think.
No, if your trait requires you to swift, then it's probably better for unless you think you can hit it.
I could probably do it, but like I think at that point it's better probably just to direct Kaufman.
And
Yeah.
you have Kaufman and you have a total of 4 crew support. Now that we don't
Mhm.
have Inverni, I think you've lost the +1, but you still have 4 from scale.
Yeah, so as we're warping in, she is going to give a direct to Kaufman where she is going to say, the second we are out of warp, I want a tractor lock on them. And I am giving her an assist, but I am going to be cruel and not use my other Medal of Valor just yet.
So someone will need to activate Kaufman.
Doctor, you want to give that a shot? Or whoever, that was just a recommendation because you haven't rolled yet. Whoever can go.
I'll grab her. If I can find her. There she is.
Under security.
Yeah. It's is it control security?
Control security assisted by structure security difficulty 2.
Okay, would shipboard weapon systems kick in here?
Yes.
Okay.
You get a free assist and a free reroll from me.
Swipe that like that. There we go.
Okay. I will spend a momentum for a third die. That is a legal comp.
See a legal comp?
Legal.
With an L.
In other words, it's not something I messed up on the sheet. That's an actual 20.
Oh, I see.
Complication or threat?
Threat.
Oh.
Ha.
You read
Yeah.
having them fully arrested by tractor.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that I need to say something there. I have them, Captain. Commodore.
Whichever title is fine. Communications attempts to get them back on screen.
I'm sure their communication problems are resolving about now.
Exo, teachable moment. Orion's frequently feign engineering problems to leave unwanted conversations. I have strong doubts they had any engineering problems beforehand.
Yes, it was sarcasm.
Ah,
Fucking
she
Narhal.
nods her head and says, human art I have yet to fully understand.
You have fallen out of combat timing. Um,
This is USS Thralic to unidentified vessel. Respond.
you receive no response. XO, or Kaufman, reason security, difficulty 0, assisted by ships, sensors, security. It's a sensor test, that's why it could be done at either station, but it is security focused.
Say reason
I do have a
security.
security 3.
Yep,
Kaufman's
reason
roll.
security.
Kaufman's got a 14 in this.
Let me assist Kaufman, potentially. Like, we could both do that, right?
You could.
It's Kaufman's thing, but he helps her, yeah.
You don't have
There we
to
go.
even move. You're at a console there. You can help.
Exactly. And he's
Okay.
plugged in, actually, so, you know.
You're wired.
Yep. Another momentum for a third die.
Roger. Put it.
Which I believe means he can still... Double check the wording on this real
Oh,
quick.
there you go. Well, I'm a Klingon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
You've been a
Sorry,
Klingon
I-
this whole time.
Now I know the secrets of your new destroyer class.
How did we not notice the ridges? Like,
It was obviously the person with the eye patch this whole time was the
Yeah.
hidden Klingon.
It's young Martok.
He was born with a genetic deformity that meant her Klingon ridges grew over one of her eyes, and that's why she wore an eye patch this whole time.
I
No,
don't
no.
know. I mean,
We're
TOS, a Klingon eye patch. I'm thinking you're a fan of the Klingon version of Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, it
Any
could
You're
be
Charles Colonel.
Gorkon. Yeah.
No, not him. The bad guy.
Yeah, wasn't that Gorkon?
No, Gorkon was a chancellor.
Oh right.
Chancellor Gorkon.
Colonel, or wasn't he?
I don't remember his name.
General?
Christopher Lloyd.
General,
Nope,
General
not him
No.
either.
Khan, General Khan,
No, it was
something.
Christopher Plummer.
Are we talking
You're
about the one
thinking-
from 3 or 6? The one in
The one
6
from
is the one who
6.
quotes Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
one from
Christopher
6.
Plummer.
Anyways,
We're new priorities, people.
I just
Chang,
need the
General
XO's,
Chang.
assist.
I said.
Any assist from science?
I haven't even... Oh, there it is. I was looking at the thing, I was like, oh, the rolls didn't change, because it's the same 2 people that rolled with the same names. There you go.
There you go.
All right. 5 successes on a diff 0, so 5 momentum. Both of you see and confirm there are small unidentified objects falling away from the captured ship, and small defensive phasers usually used for ships that are trying to land that may encounter obstacles in atmosphere. Almost weak
shields.
enough that it doesn't appear on security scanners, but
Recommend
they-
shields, Captain. Looks like we've got unidentified objects being launched from the ship, as well as some sort of weapon system.
Understood. Shields up, move to yellow alert.
Unidentified vessel.
I'm going to spend 2 threat
Mm-hmm.
to create the trait reduced cargo. They do not respond.
Security take a minor action to raise shields.
There's this is not in combat timing.
Okay. Communications, any response?
0 response. They can hear us. They're just choosing not to answer back, Commodore.
Understood. Security, is it possible that you can use the tractor to bring aboard any of the floating away detritus from their ship, or would that prevent the current lock on their trajectory?
I think if we raise shields, we lose the tractor beam.
No.
Oh, do we?
No.
No,
That's transport.
No, we
only.
don't. Okay. Okay.
we could.
Uh,
Yeah.
I could try for a multiple lock.
I have a sneaking suspicion the cargo they are jettisoning would be vitally important in an upcoming smuggling trial.
I could potentially tag them, make sure that they are known to our sensors as a means of keeping track of them, their vague speed and trajectory, and we can pick them up later.
And Captain, I might be able to get one, perhaps 2 of these objects, but they're small and there are a lot of them. I'm correct there, right, GM?
Yep.
Both of you execute your plans. Even a small sample would likely be representative of the whole cargo load.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Captain. You can go first.
So what kind of role is that going to be to like split the tractor beam so I can grab some of the cargo while still maintaining hold of the ship?
Unless I potentially make a trait when I do my roll, but that's a
I think your outcome is reasonable. I think you're using the wrong tool.
Mark?
transporters would be easier, but
Yes.
Yeah.
To get a small object on board, I don't know that the tractor beam is what you're looking at.
Right.
Especially because this ship doesn't have a shuttle bay. It only has cargo bays, so that adds to the difficulty.
So those weapons were just like point defense weapons on the ship or something?
Yeah, they wouldn't even be enough to scorch the paint on the Thralic.
Okay. Okay. Captain, if they don't appear to be taking any hostile actions, we could risk lowering the shields and beaming the cargo aboard.
Is Revere or security saying this?
Revere will say that.
Then she will nod her head and say, security, lower shields, make it quick.
Revere to Harusk. Lock on to as many of the floating cargo modules that are out there and beam them aboard.
This
Since
looks
he's
like
got-
another crew activation.
Yeah. Well, he's got transporter chief, so.
So you're gonna give me 2 threat.
Somebody want to grab Harusk since I'm already.
I'll do it since I haven't done anything yet.
That's what I was going to recommend.
You're looking at control engineering difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensors engineering.
Is that after spending the 2 threat to reduce the
Nope.
diff?
I think they were leaving that up to you to decide if you were going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So that brings it down to diff 1.
Cool. Gonna spend a momentum. Cool. That generates 2 momentum.
Just realizing that there is one important area of the ship that the tile set I have does not have a tile for.
Transporter room?
Probably an additional tile that I'd have to go buy a different pack for.
Where'd you get this tile set at?
Roll 20.
Roll 20.
Ah, sweet.
I recognize
You
it.
could probably theater of mind it for now.
I have a backup area for this instance, but when we actually beam people, it won't work as well.
Oh, does your ship have a dedicated cargo
Does it?
transporter bay?
It has a dedicated cargo bay in the engineering section on deck 11, deck 10. Sorry.
How luxurious.
Yeah, we have tiles and everything. I didn't have to draw anything.
Moving from the last ship to this ship feels like moving from like the crummiest of inner city flats to a luxurious mansion with how much extra space we can waste on amenities.
Okay, I was waiting for you to finish that as a judgment of my drawing ability, and someone was gonna get airlocked.
No, I actually found your drawings quite cute. It was a comment about the ship's size.
Oh,
Oh,
you.
No, I
okay.
didn't mean it like that. Oh my god.
Airlock.
Y'all twist every goddamn thing I say
Yeah,
into
I
something
liked
negative.
it. I thought it was nice.
Hey, I mean, if you're trying to get to Rear Admiral, that's one way to get to Rear Admiral.
Well, actually, I like commanding a ship.
You can command them. You just get to pick
Can
and
we
choose.
just roll for the goods already?
No, we have to waste at least 15 minutes on sidebar stuff.
We wonder why we never finish in one.
Yep,
She's
go
not
ahead
wrong.
and roll for Harusk.
D-
Yeah, the ship's sensors engineering.
Another roll. Okay.
For Harusk, did Harusk roll?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you rolled as Tweer, that's why okay, yeah.
Yeah, my mistake.
No, that's fine. Nope, that is it, flat. Harusk, you see materialize in the cargo bay 2 small containers. As soon as the transport ends, one of them starts shaking a little bit.
Mhm. It is. It's Commodore, right? Yeah, Commodore.
Yes.
Commodore. I have received 2 crates. One of them seems to be volatile in some fashion. Taking a scan now.
No, exit the cargo bay. Revere. Oh, what's the science officer's name?
Ivanov.
Ivanov. Revere Ivanov to the cargo bay immediately to ascertain what we've just put in there.
Can scan from here
Go ahead.
Gonna be like
and
a-
scan cargo outside in case there is any. I have suspicions. Of which we'll do that broad sweep scan of these things.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Or
we
if I
might
need to do them
scan
as 2
for-
scans, I will.
for life signs.
Yeah.
So what 2 things are you trying to scan?
The crates that are outside still, and ascertain what is in the crates we have, which I imagine might be 2 separate rolls, but because they're all from the same cargo, maybe not.
Place your bets, people. I'm putting my money on a Moopsie.
Oops.
My
Holy
favorite
fuck!
fact. My favorite fact about the Moopsie is that the animation team for that episode were given the art instructions, make it look like a child going to town on a Capri Sun.
That's awesome.
Reason science, difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensor science.
Lovely.
Can Revere assist? Like we're kind of splitting the workload or something?
He could assign power to the sensors.
Reserve power.
unless you're actually, if he's actually helping like review sensor logs, then yes, you could make reason. You could assist with reason science. If you're trying to help from an engineering perspective, I think that's just assigning power.
Yeah, I would help with because he's scanning multiple areas, so I could help. By looking at the results and
Yeah.
filtering through. Yeah.
You've got did the reading, so you've got to have a good science score.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a 4 science, and
Yeah.
I'm good.
Rivera's quite competent. So definitely sensor operations. Unconventional thinking probably as well. To be honest, at this point. But sensor operations for sure. We're still plugged in. We still have technical expertise. Difficulty 3, you said?
Yes. They are pretty small compared to
Yeah.
the things you're used to scanning.
I will offer a momentum
But
upon the altar.
but-
I'm assuming the trait doesn't apply to this because it's the cargo rather than the ship.
Yes.
That is fine. Lovely. That is that. That is the assist. Okay, I've got 2 rerolls to try and make sure that's not a complication. So, it's not a complication.
Won't work, Conrad.
6 on a difficulty 3, so 3 momentum gained.
float. 2 float.
You find there are no unusual life signs on the in the engineering bay. You find outside the ship that you could definitely categorize the contents of the crates as biological, but your sensors, the Thralic is not a sensor boat, and these are very small objects that are disappearing off screen very quickly as they're incinerated.
But what's incinerating them?
The ship, that's what they were doing with their defensive phases. They've been
Oh, okay.
shooting and vaporizing the containers as they leave the ship.
Oh, I didn't understand that.
That's new information.
Sorry, I thought that was understood.
No, I think we all managed to miss that.
Sorry, what was the new information?
They're shooting the
They're
cargo
using their
that was
point
floating
of-
out.
Yeah.
Oh, they're shooting the cargo. Okay.
Yeah. We all managed to miss that.
Yeah. I thought I was kind of giving away for you information when I gave the trait reduced cargo.
Yeah, that I
When
understand.
y'all took time rather than did something.
I thought that's something because it was dumped.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
There's 2 float.
Okay, so not biological, as far as we can tell.
Well,
No. What's the crates outside the ship
not life
are
sign, not live.
biological. You can't get any more specific than that.
I can't get any more specific, or I need to spend momentum to get more specific.
No, the sensor resolution, the Thralic sensor resolution on very small objects. When you don't have hours, you have seconds to scan, and you're not a sensor boat, so that is the most accurate you could get.
Okay. If I was to say create a trait for actually, wait a second, I can do this a smarter way. Let me ask 2 questions about these things.
Yeah.
Try to identify what's in our hull.
Does there pardon?
Try to I just recommended try to identify what we've beamed aboard.
We know for a fact that at the moment there's nothing that is
There are no unusual life signs in the
yeah,
engineering
no
bay.
unusual life signs.
Okay.
And the crate moved, so that's unexpected, but could indeed be a reaction. Yeah, actually, is there what
Unusual in
reactive
this
compounds?
case. Unusual in this case. Oh wait, sorry. I guess I would require you to spin to define that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that for momentum. In this case, that you confirm that there are no life signs outside of the expected Starfleet crew.
All right, so there's not any additional life signs aboard the ship.
No, you were scanning the bay in particularly, and the Commodore ordered Harus to leave the bay. So
So the original question was, what did we bring aboard? And I said that it had no. There were the free response was that there were no unusual life signs, and you spent to get the additional information. I think with the science officer question, that there were no non-Starfleet personnel life signs in the engineering section.
So
what does non-Starfleet mean? I mean, it's not like we have the comm badges where. So what does non-Starfleet mean in this context?
There are no life signs belonging to individuals or organisms that are not member species of the Federation.
oh.
Wait, there were a couple of
As
negatives
a different
there.
question. Okay, so they're not life signs. Wait. So there might be life signs.
When I say life signs, there are life signs in both places. If there were no life signs, I would not say biological. I'd say organic. But you don't have good enough sensors to get any more specific than that.
Got you. Are the crates at least vaguely environmentally?
Two different. Sorry, I was responding
capable.
to chat and you. Two different places. You can't get any more granular about the containers outside the ship. Inside the ship, they weren't asked about. We haven't asked yet about more detail beyond the detail given so far.
Okay, so I'm going to ask one question that's going to be about the crates that are outside, so that I can make a trait regarding them. And
Okay.
that is, do the crates themselves seem to have, or at least vaguely, a environmental seal? Are they immediately exposed to the vacuum of space, or would there be a pocket inside them that would be considered survivable for like a minute, 30 seconds, whatever, however long?
Yes, you do detect gases inside, and the containers are radiating heat.
Lovely. So, with those two actual descriptions of those that are quite nifty, a trait in regards to those things is something that would help us get a sensor lock, hopefully, or generally assisting that sensors can track these things easier by the knowledge of what they're emitting and what their chemical makeups are inside them to allow for better specific pickup.
So I would allow you to create a trait that says you can track them in space, like keep track of where this cargo container is. The problem is they're being incinerated very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to stop that, I think, first and foremost.
Yes. So I'm trying to make something like right now with the roll that's currently already happened
Yeah.
as a thing that'll help us grab more before they get incinerated. Does that make
Maybe
sense?
maybe just sensor lock, which
I
would
will
feed into transporter lock.
save you that. There isn't a difficulty increase yet from that. The only difficulty increase is coming from a pad.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they're not coming from a pad, but I was treating your ability to get a general lock and beam everything in a small area aboard as different than getting a detailed reading of the exact makeup.
So yeah, I think we
was
just need
trying
to beam all the biological things aboard.
Yeah, and the only other question would be more specific about what is in the cargo bay with that specific one, but like that is that a
I guess I
what we
could.
what we
I
dread.
guess I could take a trait to just make it easier.
Yeah, especially if we
Uh,
try to transport all of the available ones.
That would be
are
a
out
better
there.
trait, I think. I'll allow you to get as much as the transporter could handle in one beam.
Lovely.
Okay.
You have the problem that Husk is not at the cargo transporter anymore.
Okay, so that was a lot of talking. What do we know is inside the transporter bay or the cargo bay?
Federation biologic, presumably alive.
Right.
Great. Okay. Okay.
We base
At that news, she's going to say, Rusk.
He wasn't even going to wait for her. He was going to just straight out say, "We need to beam, like, giving the orders to the transporter guy to do more beaming."
Okay.
In the sense of
All right.
he sees the readings and he's just saying it
The scene
as
is
he
going.
goes, if that makes sense. It's
I
it's,
would say I guess it's up to whoever's playing Harusk, but the XO is asking Harusk to do one thing, but Harusk was ordered by the Commodore to leave the area.
More unless there's a clear breakdown of chain of command. More recent orders, are to be executed.
It's up to the doctor. I don't know if the doctor's
Doc's
here.
BRB though, so I'm stepping in.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
and to be clear to Solaris, he's not trying to countermand or override
No,
Solaris.
I
It's just
understand.
like I see the information now,
It's
and I'm
the
going to
advice,
say
yeah.
it rather than chain of command it.
Yeah, no.
I understand.
These orders are coming from the bridge from a superior officer. The situation must have changed. So for us, we'll try and get back to transporter station and initiate this beam. What's our difficulty here?
Hold on a second.
Yep.
I do like the ask 2 questions and get a trait as a benefit.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh, I can be a bastard.
It encourages science officers to ask questions because some tables are
does.
scared to death of obtaining information.
So what is Harusk? He's trying to beam the rest of the crates, right?
Yep.
All right. As you go to, actually, I can handle this.
And I'm back if you need me to roll Harusk.
Dude, do you know what he's doing?
Trying to beam the rest of the crates, right?
Hey.
I'm
Safely
paying
and
attention.
urgently.
Hey, I never assume that.
Wow.
What? When
I mean,
someone's
as a GM, you
BRB,
never
I
assume your
well,
players are paying attention.
my BRB, my headset goes down. I'm nowhere. I'm not listening at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I was truly away from the computer for a couple of minutes, but I heard the tail end of it and was able to
Ah.
gather that okay, Harusk is beaming more of them. What's the diff on this though? That's like the part I've missed.
No, we're waiting too.
Oh, I haven't said it yet.
Oh, okay.
As you're about to beam it, Engineman Kythrell, who seems to be looking at some crates, looks up and says, "Help."
What?
He just starts walking over. And it kind of looks at the console and he says, "Good energy."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Crewman?
I will bear in mind the instruction to Harusk was considered very urgent.
Lives
Yeah.
are at risk. People are gonna die.
Reason engineering, difficulty 2, system by ships, sensors, engineering.
Isn't it science
this
for
for the-
transportation?
Say that again.
I believe it's sensor science for engineering 190.
For beaming up,
Yup.
sensor science.
Well, it's control engineering though.
What?
Weirdly. Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was
Did you say-
thrown.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I was like, what? Okay, sure, game.
I was gonna say, did you say reason engineering? I thought it was control engineering.
It is control engineering plus sensor science.
Okay. And what's the diff?
Ah,
3 you said?
2.
2.
Uh,
I'm gonna spend 3 momentum,
Probably wise.
and I'm not gonna give you the threat.
As you're doing that, Harusk says, "Confirmed," and he starts walking away.
not Harusk.
Sorry, Kythrell.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a lot. That's a bunch.
6 on a difficulty 2 for momentum gained.
Float, by the way.
Can I ask the question of how much am I beaming over? Like, what's the volume?
That much. And that much.
That
And that much.
it was that much. Making like the big hand motion.
It was this big.
Yep, exactly.
You're filling up most of the rest of the cargo bay.
That's the. I don't know if the GM will take that question.
What was the question?
I asked like, have I determined like what the exact volume is? Like in terms of scale of material, like do I figure?
About it would displace about a ton of water.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of stuff. Cool.
Sure, stuff. That's what we're going with.
Yes.
Unknown biological material.
Yeah, stuff.
Federational biological.
Cargo
Harusk
room.
Yeah.
Bridge.
I was about to say, y'all can bring characters down here because we have shifted scenes.
Oh,
yeah.
So if some
That
of y'all
was
from
gonna
the
be-
bridge want to be involved.
There's definitely going to be a doctor. I suggest you head to medical, and he'll look to the captain after that, like the
Yeah, the captain is going
Not
to say,
medical,
doctor,
cargo
go
bay.
down to medical. Ivanov,
Cargo
why
bay.
don't you go down to medical, and why don't you bring down a security team with you?
Cargo bay, you
teaching
mean?
it-
And
engineer-
misspeak, not medical,
all of
cargo
that.
bay.
Cargo Bay, I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired.
We're all there.
So am I.
Yep.
I misspoke, and then you just rolled with it. So.
Yep.
And
Yes, yes, Commodore.
the security team will cost 2 momentum.
Sure.
Right, we can use teams again. That's wild.
Yes.
Whoa.
Tell you what, let's get an engineering team too, because this is going to be a lot of stuff to move. It looks
I
like.
believe
Mm.
that's cheaper for you.
Yeah, reduce the opportunity cost of engineering teams by 1 to a minimum of 0.
So that is 1 for you.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
that's 3 momentum total. And I'll do a lightning bolt for security because y'all wear the same color.
Mm.
And a wrench for engineering.
Yes,
Whole bunch
that
of
way they
wrenches
know which
coming
ones
down
to
there.
shoot.
Yes. You. Okay. And he'll like definitely been elaborating while going down the federational biologicals is very likely people smuggling. Not people smuggling, body smuggling.
I'll see what I can. I'll see if I can match any of these readings to anything in my own databases.
Oh, if they are alive, then I need to go through the logs and verify how many containers they incinerated for how many murder charges they get. I just thought about that. Anyway.
In the second before y'all are entering the scene, I'm going to cause a bit of a reversal.
Oh
And you
no.
lose. And
Oh,
something
no.
happens to Harusk.
No, my sweet little Saurian.
So he's under my control now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But
no.
y'all enter the cargo bay.
This is a lot of boxes.
Harusk looks up from the console and says, "Energy, all acceptable."
Yeah.
Rusk, you all right?
Acceptable.
The doctor just shrugs and is looking over all these boxes. Are any of them shuffling and moving as that first one was when Harusk beamed them all over?
They aren't. And actually, I'll save you the scan. You kind of go to scan one, and then you notice something quite obvious. You bend down, and you can just open it and look inside. The seal is broken.
Oh
Broken.
no. It's empty. And he continues scanning over a bunch of them. Are they all empty?
Yeah.
Doctor, do me a favor and turn your tricorder on Harusk for me. He's not sounding like himself.
Harusk looks up from the console and says, "No, no, 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 no. Issue."
Yeah, he's really not sounding like himself.
Yeah.
Are
You're
you
not gonna
all
hurt-
right? Are you all right, Ensign? These boxes are all empty. Did you see what happened?
He points at the boxes and says, "Doctor, scan."
I'm not certain about what might be happening to your or our ensign, but perhaps it's good idea to do the scan.
Yeah. Weir is at.
No, not
Doctor,
of him.
Doctor, I'm going to give you insight,
Mhm.
security, difficulty. Four.
Yeah.
Actually, let
As
me double
our
check
Artana
if that's the
asked,
difficulty.
and any difficulty shift because of the detail.
No, this is only happening because you're Aurelian.
Oh, in that case, do my keen senses kick in?
No, it's not an issue of your ability to sense. It's making an informed choice from what you're sensing.
Okay, cool. I'm just looking over everything I've got. I don't have much for this. I might have to spend.
I would take an extra hit for Xeno Specialist Lecturer.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That brings it down to 3 then. Um, Still don't have a lot to throw at this. I think I will. You said insight security? Okay. I will spend 1 threat, 2 momentum for 4 dice. But I'm going to make one of those dice a crit by spending a determination to the value. Only trust that which you observe with your own eyes.
Yes.
Okay, I just need 1 hit. Xenozoology focus.
Yes.
Ah,
I think you're 1 hit short
yeah, I am.
because it's diff 4 and you had 2 traits. So that brought it down to diff 2.
Oh,
Actually, I think you're 2 short.
wait, what brought it down
Oh.
to diff 2?
You had sorry, no, Aurelian only Aurelian made it possible. Xenozoologist lecture brought it down to 3, and then you spent determination,
But
which
then I
brought it
rolled.
yeah.
Then I
Yeah.
just rolled garbage.
Yeah, 1 short. You
Yeah,
start
I
getting
think that
weird
stands.
sense about just like a sixth sense tangling. But you quickly dismiss it as the room just being a little cold.
Well, there goes my determination.
It still goes to your log, though. It still goes to your
You
log.
still got a
so-
log out of it.
Yes. Cool. I am still going to scan him.
All right. Reason, science, difficulty 4.
Science.
Oh, sorry. Reason, medicine, difficulty 4.
Okay, I was gonna say. Do any of my things come into play, like quick study?
Well, your Xeno as well as just lecture is going to come and bring the diff down again to 3.
Okay, cool. So yeah, quick study when attempting a task involving unfamiliar practice, technique, medical procedure, or which is to treat an unfamiliar species.
No, because you're not attempting to do any of those things.
Okay.
You're not trying to practice a technique or a medical procedure or anything like that.
Yeah.
That would be a follow-up later.
Yeah, okay. Take 3 threat.
You could use Surgeon's Decoration if you wanted.
I know I could. I have to be ready for you to throw something else at me later.
Okay.
Yeah, there's pitfalls
How much
everywhere
threat?
in these missions, so
I can't burn it just trying to.
So how much threat were you spending?
I'm spending 3. You said reason medicine. At
Yep.
least I'm good at this.
1 momentum gained, or 2 momentum gained, actually. Sorry, because of your trait. The scans look confusing. You're getting confusing readings at first, but what is standing before you actually has no true discernible form. It seems to be occupying a space like a liquid rather than firmly having a space like a solid. And it is definitely not Harusk.
Tweer drops the little hand scanner that the medical fry quarters
That's
have.
going to trigger an initiative.
dropping
Cool.
things as hostile in his culture.
You assume an intelligence higher than is actually present, I think. So do you have anything that's going to alter who goes first?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Doctor, I'll let you finish your thought and what you were about to say and do.
He just drops it and like he looks shocked and he just says, "You're not Harusk."
Okay, now he'd be attacked.
All right. He will go. There are a lot of you here. I'm going to spend determination on protect the hive.
Oh,
That
you're
sounds
turning that
familiar.
around on us.
Yes, personal threat. And then I'm gonna buy some dice. Oh no, actually, I'll spend this from the pool. So 3 for the value and 1. Oh no, I don't need to buy any extra die because they have something that makes this fairly easy.
Oops, wrong part of the book.
1, 2, 3. Difficulty 1. And out from behind some crates jumps Cathedral, Hori, and Delphina.
Oh. Oh no.
Fortunately, they brought
I am not
engineers to a
keeping the
gunfight.
initiative. Sorry.
I said, unfortunately, they brought engineers to a gunfight.
So, yep,
What do you
as the doctor says, you're not Harusk. The being that looks like Harusk seems to vibrate quickly, that his form kind of disrupts before it returns back to being Harusk, and several of your engineers jump out behind crates, looking menacing.
Standing there.
They look like
menacingly.
a factor of 1 menacing each.
You can measure menacing on a scale.
Yeah, in fact, Harusk has 3, and I forgot to check it earlier. They only have 1.
Oh, this is so bad. Oh no.
And down,
It's
Benjamin.
y'all's turn.
I think this is a leave the room and lock it down situation potentially.
You're the commander.
Yep.
I'm also sure, like, they very clearly have hostile intent, or
They're menacing.
They look hostile, yes. They look like they're jumping for you.
yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
that's we're leaving the cargo bay and locking it down. Move. I would sound different if I couldn't
So,
cough when I'd said it aggressively.
what are you doing? If you're taking
I don't
the
think I'm
task?
taking the first move, but
So who is?
probably the doctor to get away.
Doctor, would you
Yeah.
like to move a zone?
Yeah, I would very much like to move a zone.
So moving there would be a free, would be
Yup.
your minor.
Yup.
You could use your major to move off out of the scene basically now. If it sorry, you could use your major to run, which would take you out of the scene, or you can use your minor just to back up into the hallway.
Well, the thing is, where could I find a like one of those wall panel?
There was one in the
Terminals.
room, and there's one in the hallway.
He's gonna go for the one in the hallway.
All right, you could buy an additional minor to do something more than just a quick word or two. To actually like give information to somebody.
Would that be 2 momentum?
It's just one.
Just 1? I think that's worth spending, honestly.
All right, then you click the wall panel, and who are you calling?
Security to cargo bay.
I mean, we have a security team here.
Oh
The
yes,
ship
we
has
do.
lots more security.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, we're not just a tiny little archer anymore.
Okay, so Volley says security to cargo bay.
Then yeah, you'll get an acknowledgement, and you are currently short, so I will give you a presence command difficulty to summon an additional security team.
I'll spend a momentum. I'm not great at this. Renowned Starfleet officer trait.
Yes, you're trusted. That's going to bring the difficulty down to 0.
Oh, cool. In which case I won't spend the momentum then. I'll just roll the 2 dice and see if I get a. Cool. I generated momentum.
Gained.
Basically bought off that minor task I took.
So yep, you call up to security, and you're trusted and have a good reputation. So immediately Kaufman sends an auxiliary security team who are stationed nearby, and they arrive right behind you.
Great. We have imposters in the cargo bay. Harusk is compromised.
The first thing they do is stun the commander and Revere.
I see that is Artana coming down here.
No, it's just on the bridge. He'd hear it in his earpiece. Though the only thing he knows is that the doctor called for security. He doesn't know why he did it because he didn't say. He just said, "Get down here." It's like, what's going on?
He's meant to be able to say, and then he never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was trying to think if you could affect the situation down here.
Overrides, force fields, locking doors, telling the captain something's wrong, calling down to them, going, "Hey, what's wrong?" Like at this point, it's a lot of what the first thing is going to be, "Doctor, what's going on?" sort of stuff. Because I don't know, I can't do. There's no reason for me to do anything other than I know something's wrong. Because who calls security for no reason?
Mm.
All right.
And if it comes down to it, I might run down, but they'll eat a whole turn for me to get down there. So I'm not sure Aratana needs to get down. He doesn't know he needs to be down there yet.
All right. Can I spend 2 to keep and go next? Anybody got a problem with that?
Go ahead.
No.
Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
Okay, so Revere carefully holds his hand out to both Cathedral and Harusk, and then kind of turns towards Harusk and goes, "We mean you no harm. No harm." Nothing
Presence
bad. We want to
command
talk.
opposed, and the winner is going to put a trait on the loser.
Okie dokie.
Harusk will spend 3 for the value feed.
What on earth were these guys shipping over the border and who was buying it?
Or they were
Yeah.
shipping it the other way around, yeah, into us.
That
Oh.
is
Worse.
Mhm.
4 successes, and he was defending because you're the one who's trying to confuse him enough that he doesn't do
Okay.
anything.
I will spend my determination on.
And
I've got to. Go ahead.
I will say, as you start speaking, you realize intelligent conversation, turning this diplomatic is not an option, but you might buy some time here or change the situation up by continuing to talk.
Okay. I've got to figure this out.
Yes.
Okay. And this is presence command, you said?
Yes.
Don't think any of my traits will apply here. These people don't care about any of that.
Unless it's something obviously visual. It couldn't be reputational.
Right. I mean, the only visual thing really is Cation. I mean, and the fact that
I will give you a hit on Cation. You do not look like their preferred prey.
Mhm.
Okay.
You look like a competitor, not a good meal.
Fair enough. Yeah, too much fur. Ugh, hairball.
Too lean.
Not
enough fat. Look at that commander over there, though.
Yum.
They're so unintelligent. Their brains are so small, it's not even worth eating them.
I'm going to actually call on Did the Reading here, because this seems like more like maybe a xenobiological kind of thing that I'm dealing with now, that I know that intelligent conversation is not really it.
Could be. I would take something like threat gestures.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't have to name the talent, just I don't think so. But I
Just
do
get
think,
applicable
Well, you get to
focus,
keep
yeah.
it for the rest of the scene, don't you?
yeah, applicable focus. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's useful if you do know it.
Okay. So you're calling it threat
Threat gestures.
threat gestures. Okay. Let me see. I don't have. It is immediate, so I'll give you a threat since I don't have momentum.
Oh yeah, right. I thought we did. Don't know why I thought that. Do not know why.
Okay, so let's try that. At least give me a focus to use here. And then I've already spent 2. Ooh, I don't really want to threat dump, but I'm rolling against a 4.
I would say it's probably a good idea to commit at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. So, okay. Yeah, so I'll go for the full mitt, which is just buying 2 more die to get up to 4. Is that it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you spent some.
Yeah, so do I roll 5 or just 4? I'm blanking
If you-
for some reason.
Determination, you roll 4.
Okay, yeah. So I'm the equivalent of a full mitt with determination. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Looks like you've cooked to me. Oh, plus Cation.
Yeah, so 7.
Oh, that's what confused me. Now I understand what you were saying earlier.
Okay, I probably wasn't being very clear.
Yeah, I almost lost out on some threat there. 6 momentum gained. And without spending any additional, you can choose one of them. Hrusk is already acted, but you could choose someone else, one of the other enemy actors to skip their turn this round.
Um,
3.
let's see. Yeah. Looks like Harori or her, either one, are close to the commander. So
you're
yeah,
Looking for a difference, Delphine is only close to the commander, whereas Rory's close to both of you.
right. Could I spend more momentum to
You could.
affect more than multiple targets?
You could.
Okay, what's the price there? 2 for 1 or?
Yeah, you're upping a trait, so 2 for 1.
Okay. So without spending, I can affect 1, but from there I could spend to affect the others as well.
Yeah, you got a trait for succeeding.
Okay. So yeah,
and you could
then,
expand that trait for 2, which is like confusing speech.
right.
Is what you put on
So let me spend 4, so that way I've got all 3 of those guys.
All right. They, Commander, you could tell they seem fixated on Revere, and they're not really. They stop, like when Delphina stops lunging at you and kind of turns and looks at him and is kind of like confused looking at him.
And Revere's prehensile tail is like kind of, where the commander can see it pointing towards the door. Like, like I don't know how long I can hold them.
Yeah, this is the I don't know this crew very well, but I'm going to have to trust him. Get the support teams out of there.
Yeah, they have no more actions this round.
Yeah, so the support teams are going to the corridor. And we're preparing a lockdown for once our Cation man manages to get out there. And he's going to look at the doctor and be, I want you to put a scan in that room to verify if any of our personnel are actually in that cargo bay once, I forgot your name. Lieutenant
Revere.
Commander has left. Revere, Lieutenant, sorry.
I'm here.
All right, Artana.
Bridge to doctor. Please advise reason for security call.
We cut
We
up
have-
to a very confused looking communications and captain.
A security team has arrived. We have imposters in the cargo bay.
Captain, it seems like they have imposters down in the cargo bay. They've summoned security
She
teams into
says
their
it-
area.
She says in like an incredulous voice, imposters?
I just gestured to my
Request
earpiece.
elaboration.
Uh,
I will take that for 2 threat. I will create the complication confused command and control. To increase whatever task you attempt to do here, Aratana.
Sorry, were you handing the earpiece to me? Is that what you
no,
said?
no, no. I was pointing at it as a sort of gesture of
Oh.
that's what I'm hearing. Sort of look like
Okay,
I know that
okay.
sounds ridiculous. I'm just repeating what I'm hearing.
Yeah. No, she's just gonna say, please get a full story out of him.
Doctor, do you require further assistance to isolate your area?
The security team has arrived. Continue to stay advised.
Hmm.
So
I
does our
think
time move over to the security console?
why would I move to security?
I assumed you were going to attempt to do some internal security stuff.
No, they seem to have it under control. I'll get up and walk over to sensors, and I guess I'll scan to figure out what's going on to get a report, because the doctor isn't telling me much. So, I owe you an extra momentum because I did mine or talk to somebody, so I do have to get up and move to do something. Because no reason to override. I could just get up and walk over. And basically, target is just to do a sensor sweep of the area, just to visually understand what's happening down there. Because I would do a tactics roll, but I don't know what's wrong yet. So.
Reason. Oh, I think it's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for tactical information or scientific information?
I suppose it'd be security, right? Because I'm looking for more tactical. Who's where? What is actually going on? Because I don't to get the battle map, the tactical battle map of what's going on, basically.
Yeah, the security console does have access to the sensors. That's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Is like I don't think you're actually interested in like the scientific point of this.
Yeah, no, I suppose not.
So reason security assisted by ship sensor security. Difficulty 2. Yeah, because I was thinking like this was almost a difficulty 0 task because I don't think you have nothing's changed about the sensors to get you more information. The doctor had to do like an up close scan, and even then it was like difficulty 4. So that's why I was thinking that security might be what you're looking for more.
I will fire mental discipline and suffer 2 stress to avoid the trait the emotional state of being confused. I'm just I'm focused. I want to know what's going on.
Okay, yeah, you the Commodore is like asking multiple people for status updates, and you ignore constant queries for updates.
Comes off a bit rude, probably. What diff am I staring at now?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to even include that diff. This is diff 2 now. It would have been diff. It should have been diff 3.
Okay.
Because the base difficulty was 2, but I had forgotten that I had graded that trait.
There's no reason to spend anything else. I'll throw momentum because why not? It's not great, but I'll live with it. Sensors.
Complication or threat?
Threat.
All right. That looks like 2 momentum gained. No, sorry. No,
That's on the
sorry. That
dot.
just met the difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can now assume that you and the bridge know everything that is displayed, though not the content of any conversations that have been had.
Yeah, basically it'll be a I flick an update of what's on the security thing over to a pad that the captain can see.
You can put it up on the main viewer if you want. Yeah.
I don't want to put it up there unless the captain wants to, because they might be still doing ship stuff, so I don't want to get in their way.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm handed is that there are entities of an unknown nature who are impersonating or look like various Starfleet crew members currently locked in our brig or in our cargo bay. That's what I'm handed.
It's not locked. It's just a lot of people have retreated out into this hall. These people look like they're about to jump somebody. So is he. He's making like peaceful gestures. Security's all like ready to go.
Okay.
Someone in there is
So-
imposters.
Yeah. In that case, she is going to say, transmit orders down to the first officer and security teams down there that they must contain whoever these beings are before they get out into the ship. And once that's through, I have a message to compose. We have to reach the oh, now I'm forgetting their names. The Orions. And what I would like to do is I would like to sit down and compose a letter or a message to the Orion captain for him to read out that essentially says that, like, you have seriously endangered the Starfleet vessel, and you've committed many crimes. I have every reason to bring your ship in and arrest all of you if you do not further comply. Hopefully to scare them into talking.
Because hopefully they know more about what they were carrying than we
Mhm.
do.
Um, I will give you that task. Actually, narratively, I'm going to make this a rally.
Okay.
Because I am going to spend for something after you have written this, but as you're transmitting it.
Okay, so diff 0. If
Yeah.
I'm transmitting it to them, do I get an assist from Aratana?
My turn's eaten.
No, because they've already taken their action, but you could get
Okay.
the ship's communications command.
Sure, why not? All right. Oh, I've lost the things on the bottom. Do we have any resources?
0. Sadly.
Great.
Sorry.
Focus in rhetoric or diplomacy?
Fortunate that is.
Rhetoric.
Okay, take a form of the threat. Commanding presence for a free hit.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that is 5. And she is going, yeah,
5 momentum gained.
she's going to say, attention enemy vessel, or attention Orion vessel. You are engaged in the smuggling of highly illegal, you are involved in the smuggling of highly illegal materials. Further non-compliance with this matter will give me grounds to open fire upon your vessel. I strongly urge cooperation with us now to resolve this problem before further legal harms are brought against you by the Federation.
A different Orion appears on the screen this time.
Oh God.
And he says, "You have played your hand well, Starfleet. I am open to negotiate a beneficial arrangement. And I am going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh God.
2 of that is for a reinforcement, and 10 of that is for a reversal.
Mm-hmm.
As unknown to Commander Soloris, back down here, the lights shutter for a second before the emergency lights kick in, and then the ship's normal lights turn back on. You hear the clanking of a lot of breakers flipping, and then the reinforcement is Engineman Ketheril steps out of this room and says, "Power, no power." And on the bridge, you temporarily lose all power, and then it flashes back on. The Orions flash up on the screen, and one of them says, "They've let us go." And the main Orion says, "I agree to this arrangement." They will appear off screen. The only thing from the tactical standpoint on the bridge is they haven't moved yet. They haven't had time to take any actions. The only thing that's changed is the tractor beam and the shields deactivated. It does not prevent you from bringing them back if you get the chance. But they went down. That was the reversal. The ship lost all power for a second. And we do start the new round, yes.
Did your reversal create a new scene as well? Just to double check. That burns some momentum, if so.
I don't think the situation has changed enough to say a new scene. No.
Cool.
If things had changed and we focused back on the bridge, I'd say yes, but I don't think so.
Captain, we just lost shields and tractor hold. We don't have them anymore.
Try to get them back before they leave. And she's going to use her personal communicator to hail down and say, "Captain to Main Engineering, do you have any idea what just happened?"
I think we would need to take rounds.
Okay,
You can
sorry.
only communicate so much. So, who would like to go first?
I guess Kaufman would try to get them back in the tractor.
Before Kaufman can do that, reserve power would need to be generated. Because you have lost power.
Oh, I didn't know the reserve power got drained.
And the scene didn't change over, right? So it doesn't come back automatically.
We didn't lose it at all.
We didn't use it to warp.
Yeah.
If you're saying that the power outage we just had took the power away, that's one.
I
thing,
am.
but-
I'm saying that's part of
Okay.
the
That...
reversal.
Okay.
Yeah. No. You had it. But
Oh,
the ship
shoot.
has lost total power, and it has
Uh,
just come back online.
Okay, so.
So I think you would need. I don't think it's an action. I think it's just a major, isn't it?
It's an engineering thing.
Or that may be shifting the power.
Regain power is an operations engineering thing. It is a task. I'll get the
There
power
is an
going.
operation station on the
Yeah.
bridge.
I'll get the power going, Captain, and so they can get the tractor beam turned on.
Understood.
Wait. Tractor beams require reserve power?
Actually, yeah, do they? Nope.
No, that was just the going to warp. Yeah, you're right. You don't need it. I don't know why that came up. So
Power first.
yeah, you do not actually have to get reserve power.
Oh, Kaufman,
Okay, so
then.
Yeah. Reestablish the tractor lock.
Although if you did, it would auto crit the ship's die.
Oh, I'll do it for you because if you use Kaufman, it's gonna eat your turn as your cat.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
So I'll burn my turn to use. Actually, I'll just do it
I
myself.
think
'cause
actually might be
can-
better mine on this because you can do stuff down there and I can't really. Like you're in
Up to you.
communication, and
Up to you.
I'm just at the ship. Yeah, I'll do it.
Cool.
If you're good with that.
I'm fine with that totally.
Where is she? Ensign, Kaufman. There we go.
It's the one with the eye patch.
Yeah, well, I was looking for the name list, not the character sheet. I already had the character sheet open. Thank you very much.
Ensign Kaufman.
Oh, I
Okay.
should probably give you the ship. That's probably helpful.
Yeah, probably.
Neither a
Um,
borrower nor a lender be when she puts them back in.
Did you already pay for the third die that you clicked there?
No,
That was from the last roll, I think.
Okay, cool. I'll buy a third die.
with
Momentum. Shipboard weapon systems is a focus.
Yes.
Woo.
Oop.
Great.
One momentum gained, I believe.
y'all.
Mhm.
And you've reestablished tractor beam.
Reestablish, Captain.
Nice
They
work,
will.
Kaufman.
They'll.
Thank you.
I'll have one of them use a free action real quick, like just like a half second, to send a communication over that says, willing to re-enter negotiations.
God.
Yeah. Like,
Smart asses.
You think?
Captain reads that on her screen and says, of course.
Yeah.
Something tells me this is going to be a long and painful evening.
Now that you've seen the guns, do you want to talk?
Any way to keep it?
Yeah, we have my thing. We get a 1 free keep per round. Okay. What else needs to be done at the moment?
So
immediately?
either you can direct one of them down there because we now can talk to them. I could
Mhm.
set up some sort of tactic, like send out a tactic to them to isolate the area so it's easy. It keeps the bad guys from getting out.
Mechanically, what are you suggesting for that? Like just a rally or a trait?
You could either direct one of them for them to do a thing better, or if I do create a trait, I could do it with my order of tactics and make it like a potency 2 tactic to make it to isolate these things and contain them.
That sounds like a good idea. So why don't you do that?
Okay. So I will go back to the comm station and try to relay a tactic that I'm aware of, a security attack I'm aware of for containing unknown Xeno threats aboard a ship within a within a
think
deck area.
you're going to need to get some information from the doctor first, because on sensors, the sensors are still aware of them as um,
I'm just talking about.
Federation life science.
I'm just talking about sealing off that entire, like locking off that block of the ship, or even the deck. Even going, no, nothing leaves this deck, and this is what we do generically for any Xeno threat.
Okay, with the understanding that that can't be overridden then by even the conscious Starfleet personnel. Because what I was trying to point out is
Yeah.
that you have to find a way to differentiate between people who are functionally identical in the eyes of the sensors to your personnel. But
Yeah,
you could circumvent that by just saying everyone without exception, no overrides.
that's my thought. Unless the away team doesn't want me to do that, because I'm thinking just locking you guys off so they can't leave your deck and nothing can
Yeah.
penetrate the deck.
Honestly,
fine.
that sounds that sounds right.
I owe you a check there, GM, I believe, to create a trade.
Yes.
I wish I had a focus for it.
Control security.
Control security.
Difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. I am gonna extra effort to pull it down by 1, so I'm gonna eat 2 stress.
Okay.
Anything else that fires?
Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
3 because of the trait on the bridge, confused command.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But didn't he spend to get rid of that?
I
Or
have
does
to
it
keep
not
doing.
matter because
You have to keep doing it.
Yes,
okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hurtful to do it that way. I was like, so yes, back up, extra effort. Difficulties now was 3, back down to 2. I'll buy 2 extra dice. The ship's communications help with this at all, like coordinating with people and like letting the whole ship know this is what we're doing.
Let's look at the ship real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say communication security.
Hooray. I'll definitely hit this then. I just need 1 hit. Yeah.
Complication or threat.
Threat. So that would have the ship auto rolls a 2.
So
I suffer 3 stress.
even though it's not because it's communications, but not sensors.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 4 gained. Or no, sorry.
2
gained because it was difficulty 2. Yeah.
And I'm gonna Grand Kite Order of Tactics pull it up to potency +2 to the trait.
Trying to think. I don't think that's necessary. I think this is one of those traits that make something difficulty 6. Like this has taken it from difficulty 0 to 6. Like it's made it impossible unless someone has something else.
I'm willing to spend into it merely because I don't know what these aliens can do. Like I'm actually that worried that they'll pull something out of their hat and go like, by the way, we can do this other thing. It's like, no. I'm already thinking ahead of you. It is if it's overkill, it's overkill. I'm willing to lose the use of it.
It's overkill, and if they could do something else, I would need you to I would need you to have some way to anticipate that, because it would be like they could slime through the vents. They could just be able to move through walls. Like there's so many things unknown aliens could do.
Yeah.
If you had an inkling, I would go that way, but it's already impossible. Impossible +1 would be only useful if you had a specific thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
That you were looking out for.
Okay.
But I would allow the increase in a different way, to say that if you want, there are security teams that have secured the turbo lift, which is still sealing them off, but it's not the electronic seal you put. It's
A
additional
physical
personnel.
person there. Yeah, I'll take that for $1. Sure.
Okay.
I'll buy that for $1. Womp womp.
Yeah.
All right.
That's me. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do for now. Not yet, anyway.
That's gonna go. It's gonna go to them.
I assume for the sake of initiative, the aliens in the cargo hold and the and the Orions go in the same order, even if they're not entirely aligned.
The Orions have not. If they are doing stuff on their ship, it is currently
No
outside
idea.
your ability to
Okay.
interact with because you don't have anyone on their ship or any access to it. So that's not even part of the combat. That's not even part of the thing. If they try to do something like run that actually interacts with you, then yes, but they haven't so far. They've been they are doing stuff, but it's not worth tracking in this initiative. Because you have no way of responding.
A thing that's supposed to be. Nope. Okay.
All right. See, Delphina and Harori don't have anything, but
We're showing the bridge page, just so you know.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Kethrul will spend all of his personal threat on an attack against Revere using the value Protect the Hive.
Oh, how the turntables.
Yep.
I believe we in the biz call this dramatic irony.
They've turned me right round, baby. Right round.
It is a daring security opposed and you're the defender.
Daring security opposed.
That's a surprisingly good song.
Yeah, it is. So, okay, question. I think I know the answer, but just in case, like last time I got a milestone, which means I got an extra determination. Does that hold over or no?
New adventure, you start at 1 determination.
Okay,
No,
that's
it
what
doesn't.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, so yeah. Daring security. I'll shoot for the moon for Cation. Because, I mean, we're kind of evolved from hand-to-hand predators.
No, he has a trait that would oppose that.
Oh, we're worth a shot.
If he was a Kelpian, I'd agree, but he's also evolved from a species that's primarily hunters.
Fair enough.
Not that you know
Means
that.
that neither of you get an advantage though, and that's still a win.
That's the way I look at it.
There's always a sunny side up way.
Though I prefer over hard myself.
But okay, so
Waka waka.
daring security opposed. We do have 4 momentum.
Sure.
It is your stream and not mine.
I'll spend 3 momentum to buy 4 dice.
Not sure what that's implying, but okay.
Not really wanting to give him a bunch of threat, so I'll just stick with 4 dice.
Oh, whoops. That's what I'm supposed to be checking. Oopsie. Typical Excel.
Okay.
What do you want to do with that comp?
Oh, I guess for the comp, I will give you threat.
Not a single complication so far. I'll roll flat because he's already going to spend determination.
Oof.
Oh wow.
That's 6 to my 3.
3 threat, which he will spend.
Backup plan. Thanks for the momentum.
Oh, I do. Oh no, he has his weapon does have lethal and non-lethal. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Go ahead.
Oh, we're just highlighting that an ally failed, so we gained a momentum.
Oh, okay.
Just so I wasn't just saying, just grab a momentum.
3.
My plan is working.
stress As Cathrel's form kind of unravels and a large 4-armed biped alien starts clawing you.
And there
For
went
a
our
total of
effects
3
budget.
stress.
Oh, sorry. There was threat to spend.
Oh my god! It's just, all I can imagine is that because this is TOS, I imagine it's like a silly rubber suit, like
It's what were those
like a-
things in John Carter of Mars? The
Oh,
4-armed
God.
green things.
Oh, I know what you mean.
it's just this like really bad rubber suit monster, like the Gorn.
Gorn are awesome. I won't hear this.
Oops, the doctor's getting beamed out into space. Oh no.
You know,
Like-
if you showed that episode to a caveman, he would be scared shitless. Granted, that
Like,
might not be for the Gorn themselves, but I think the point remains.
No.
Low
It's
bar.
perfect. The thing is like the 2 lower arms are also sleeves that you can put your arms into, and they like the actor switches between them between shots. So you never see more than 2 of the arms moving at any given time.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
I will
Wacky
bump
available
up
too, man.
the. I'll spend 2 to bump up the entry by 1 and take the last one as threat.
3
Oh,
stress
what's
for
what
4.
how much?
4 stress total.
Okay.
Or you could go down.
It's true.
Don't think I want to get eaten. But
Teach his own.
Oh, that
It would be less than
Yeah.
ideal to have you get eaten.
yeah.
Certainly, Corbinian would have the SPA on him.
It's true. So I will use the Starfleet Decoration of Gallantry to have that. So bring it down to 2.
2.
Okay.
It's y'all's go.
Would you like to no longer be in there?
Probably for the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would
I
you
could-
like an order to leave that area?
Yeah, someone could direct you. That's true.
He's in contact. He'd have to succeed at a melee task.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or someone has to stun
Oh.
it from range.
I was gonna say, are you any good at shooting EXO?
No more good than I am at hand to hand. I mean, it's not bad. It's a 13, but also there's cover in the area, so it would get the bonus from that.
They
If
get
I
the-
I've
direct
done the
one of
reading
you.
on shooting, but
But the
Five.
EXO could also be backed up by 2 security teams. Also,
And
the
if I
EXO
direct-
is standing next to someone who's acting very suspicious.
yeah, I do have
And
a
also
more
if I-
immediate problem.
If I do direct any of you into combat, you do get an automatic +2. So whoever thinks they need it
So
more.
I
What-
don't think you can direct from the bridge like that.
Okay, that's fine.
I would ask that you be like here in the action.
So
Okay.
what happens when there's cover in the area and you're shooting at somebody?
It's an opposed roll as opposed to a flat roll.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like if you're in contact with someone, that should negate it, though. I don't think that's rules as written, though. I think
That makes
Still
is
sense.
written.
That makes sense. If you're like in a point blank fight with each other, I have cover. You're next to me. Bang.
That or if someone else was shooting into it, it's like
that may be
you can
something we
disengage.
talk about like at the end of this session, or
Yeah,
next
yeah.
session, as like an agreed table we're going for. But we'll leave it a post for now. But I think that might be a good one to house rule if it's not in the book.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and break away and bolt for it.
Daring security opposed.
Is
there-
he the defender on this one?
He is.
He is the defender.
And basically, if I win, I don't damage him. I just disengage and
You
Can you get away?
don't. I will say you did see him put a lot of effort into that attack.
yeah, and
One success.
let's see if I can put some more effort to this attack.
Oh, I forgot to take the menacing threat for Kethrel number 2 up here.
So
Uh,
I'll give you 1 threat and 2 momentum for 4 dice again.
Boop.
Daring security. Ah, I got 2. Yay me!
That's enough.
You
Yeah.
could oh, and we're assuming you used your minor to draw.
No, I'm not shooting. I'm just trying to get away.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So this would just be
uh,
like a tackle fake or something.
Yeah, you're right.
Kick you in the knee.
And you're not going to do damage. You're going to break contact.
Yep.
I like the idea that you like scamper on him and then use all 4 of your cat legs to push off.
Can I get out here beyond the doors?
With a minor.
With your minor,
Yeah.
you do.
Yoink. And
You see another Kethrel as soon as you
I'll-
open the door.
I'll spend 1 momentum for an extra minor to seal the doors, close them, and lock them.
That was already prepared last time.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what I said I was doing, and I didn't even use a major, so I was preparing a full lockdown of it.
Oh, then I'll hit the button.
Bad.
Yeah, no, that's what I
yeah.
had said as the turn for last time was, I'm not going to lock it down while he's in there. I'm going to prepare to lock it down once he leaves the room.
Oh, okay.
And then we
Cathedral.
had a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, he could have
okay.
minored and then majored.
So I don't know if I roll the major now.
No, locking that door I don't think is a task.
No, it's not even locking down. It's not locking down the door. It's locking down the room.
Which that door is the
only
only
way
There's
in
no
that
other
way-
access
yeah.
points that are non-conventional that would require force fielding or anything like that.
Oh, that
Jetpack
you
tubes.
can't do from here. That would require going to a terminal. This
Or
door you
talking
can do
to
without a task.
Aratana.
I thought it was like a room terminal thing. Okay, never mind.
No, you'd
bad.
have to go into here or something, or over here into a room with terminal to like start setting up for force fields.
Mind
Or
you,
just tell
locking
Aratana to do it.
Or tell Artana, yeah.
Locking the door is free. I'm not going to charge a task for it'll
Okay.
take your major, but it won't take like a
Yeah,
It'll
as
take
long as something was
the
done with it,
action
that was
you got
beneficial.
from prepare,
Yeah.
but it won't require a task
Yeah.
roll. All right, it goes to them unless y'all keep.
So yes, you come out here, and there's another one of these guys that
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
is
Thought-
speaking in the same weird manner.
What? Cathedral.
He says, "Energy lost."
Yeah, that's gonna be. We're gonna shoot him.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot him.
Well, there's also the prior bit that happened before you came into the room here.
Unfortunately, I
but
don't
yes.
have enough threat to do a reveal that this is just the actual Kithrell and he was drunk on the job.
That would be
I don't
so
think I can
funny.
shoot him because we don't have the means to keep at the moment. So
He was
Yeah.
one of the two that got drunk
you
in
do.
that station, wasn't he?
Yeah, you do.
was he?
The captain's in contact with you, so
Yeah.
shit, you're right.
we're part of the combat. We're just distant.
Yeah, okay, so I can keep.
already kept for free.
They're artillery support.
Is
Uh,
that? I think that's for the entire first round that they can do that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
this
did
isn't the
it
first
once
round, yeah.
already for the second round. You did it in between the lock on of the ship and Artana's securing the whole
Yeah,
floor.
I do not have a means to keep control
Oh.
of the scene. The
You can
action
spend,
here,
you just can't do it for free.
well, what can I spend? We've got one.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, you'd have to have like a talent or something that gave you.
Yeah.
This, or
So no,
medal
you
or
get
something.
to go.
You'd have to
I might-
spend
I might be
determination in
hunting
order
lunch.
to do it to get momentum.
I don't know if I want to spend my determination on that right now.
I could.
It's true.
Do you want some momentum?
It's entirely your call. As funny as it is.
Tharks. The four-armed aliens at Edgar Rice Burroughs were called Tharks.
Yeah. I mean,
These are not called
Winchester,
Tharks.
if you'll let me, I'll do that.
Sorry, it was killing me. I couldn't remember what they were.
Sounds
Yes, you could.
I think we landed on the
That
best
one
one,
is
right?
immediate. Yeah, there are some that
Yeah.
are part of a task.
Yeah.
That is not one that calls out being part of a
Cool.
task.
Let's see. The question now is, do I have a value that works for this, or a mission directive? Do we have any mission directives?
Oh,
Last I
sorry.
checked, we didn't.
You would have a mission directive now that is to secure the ship from intruders.
Cool. I'll probably be using that one because unless less limits are there to be tested works.
I think not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Spend determination towards mission directive. Generate 4 momentum.
Done. You
I
get
do
4
not
momentum.
keep it.
Costs 2 to keep if you want to.
It costs. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that. I don't feel like getting mugged, and I don't feel like the doctor getting mugged right now.
Being on a larger ship with a security team present, you have justification to get increased gear if you want to pay for it.
Right now, no.
Okay.
Like,
Only
it would make
highlighting that because
sense,
it's something
but-
that's not really been an option before.
Yeah.
It makes sense, except right in this very moment when I'm standing in a corridor with this guy between me and anything else. I suppose the security team could just
what
hand
I'm
me a
saying
rifle.
is, there was like a significant part of a round where he was not here, and you and the security team were. So it doesn't have to be this instant they hand it to you.
Mm.
It's that you spent the opportunity at an escalation at some point to get it.
To just grab
Well,
it from
I've
them.
got no reason right now to believe that a Type 2 won't do the job.
That's true.
Smiley
Yeah,
face.
that is true.
Smiley face. So it's going to have to be a minor to draw.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've got 2 security teams.
you do.
So
Diff
hide.
0. There's no cover in this hallway.
Oh, good. Do I even need to do the reading then? I probably don't.
No,
Nah.
you're just ordering both security teams. Like they can't help with anything. They can't follow up with Revere, like help the doctor. But they are like, you got like a dozen people and yourself in this room, like all firing Type 2s and Type 3s at this guy.
This is just open fire, yeah.
Yeah,
Dr. Duck.
that door is about to be like melted, like fused shut.
I sure hope not.
It's only like auxiliary power control.
Oh yeah. I
Keep it
don't
to
have
the
a focus that
green.
helps with this normally. Shockingly, I don't have a focus for shooting people.
Might actually want access to auxiliary power control.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I was like, that's actually kind of important in this current moment. But
If there's anything that trips
There we
your
go.
rerolls, but you're good.
the only thing that trips my
Remember the
rerolls is technical expertise, sensors, computers. I mean, I'm plugged into the ship technically. If I was prepared for the lockdown,
What is the intensity of your weapon? Because I guess you could have used them as intensity instead.
The
oh, that
security
is an
mean?
option. I was using them
Because
to
they
hit.
count as
So.
a trait, so
Yeah, I was using them to hit for sure.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Oh yeah, it's more. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
He goes down.
So that's
He
actually
can't
2.
afford that.
Does he remain looking like that?
He does not. He spills out into a goop.
A goop.
A goop.
Okay.
A goop that kind of just like spills across the floor and starts crystallizing.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I didn't kill him. Well, I didn't intend to kill him at any rate.
No, but it's lost consciousness and can't take conscious action anymore.
Oh.
Yeah,
Let's secure that, doctor.
Yeah, that it's just going to be very much a doctor. You have a sample. I need you to, as said earlier, identify if there are any of our people in this cargo bay. And it's probably a let me at that talker. Like, minor
Understood.
to get to the talker and do the talking.
Doctor, I will give you a task. I will say there are I will let you roll up to a difficulty 6, or you could roll a difficulty 0 and spend momentum to learn things about them, however which way you want to go. But there are 6 things to learn about them, but you'll have to do it as part of one task because you don't really have time to study them.
Cool. This is why I wanted to save my surgeon's decoration.
And I would like to briefly interject that I was intending to, as part of the turn, move the doctor away from the communicator, where I've been able to hear him not inform the bridge of the situation, to inform the bridge of the situation.
Okay.
Appreciate
That's
it.
just before he goes about and rolls. Yeah. I also can't actually move my token. I can move Revere. I can't move mine now for some reason.
Yeah, I have to set it
And-
up.
Look, if it a game where a game without us being unable to move our tokens is like a shopping cart without a broken wheel.
But yes.
So Winchester's a Walmart?
Shit. For a little while there, I might as well have been a property of Walmart.
And it'll be a very short-handed, unidentified
I owe
alien
my soul to the
intruders
company
identify
store.
on sensors initially as Federation. Medical scanner identifies as separate, isolating
Yeah.
in cargo bay now.
I didn't get my addiction to sugar-free Red Bull, Reese's what are they called? Reese's sticks and the cold air of an industrial freezer from nowhere.
Jeez.
But did you catch that, Artana?
No, my brain just glossed over there for a second.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is just the very short-handed.
I have more
I'm not putting on
experiences
the
to
action
share.
again for it. Unidentified alien intruders. General scanners identify as Federation biologics. Medical scanner identifies otherwise.
Acknowledge.
Currently locking down
I'm-
in cargo bay.
I'm going to spend. I'm going to spend 3 momentum for dice.
1 and 2
Uh,
and 3.
Xenozoology focus,
Yes.
and I'm tackling the diff 6.
Okay.
Hell yeah, brother.
But I spend my surgeon's decoration to drop it to diff 4. What'd you say it is? Reason medicine?
Yes.
Cool. This is tied for my best roll. So additionally,
One moment. Please.
I don't know if you count this, but when I succeeded a medicine task to identify and diagnose the nature of a medical problem, I may ask 1 question
Um.
for each additional D20 I bought with momentum. So that would be 2 questions actually.
The only medical problem here is being stunned by a phaser, so I don't think that's going to apply.
Okay,
The other
fair
things
enough.
you're going to learn aren't really medical issues. They're just properties of this being.
Nah, that
Um, I
legit.
so it was you did bring it down to diff 4. Actually, I think you brought it down to diff 3 because xenozoology researcher.
Oh,
Okay.
So that's 3 momentum gained.
3,
Uh,
sorry. Oh, I counted
Is
wrong.
diff
Okay.
6, and 5 successes were rolled, and there were 3 reductions in difficulty, so that was 2 momentum gained. Sorry.
Doop, 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 doop. Momentum is not accurate.
All right, you learn they have the talent Formless. They can change and contort their body in a drastic fashion, allowing them to take a trait. That's why they're able to like appear as other people. This one has menacing 1. It is a intelligent predator for an animal. It has a low reason. It's not sapient it's not sapient, but it is intelligent as a as like a canine.
but it is capable of interpreting and mimicking.
Is the next that is it does
Yeah.
have mimicry. It can do things it has seen.
Yeah.
It is
Such as ambulate.
Yeah, it is a tool user. So that's
Ooh.
how it's able to open doors, and it was able to damage this console in here.
Mhm.
It may not know what it's doing, but it like functionally it can interact
Do
with the world like
things.
that. All right. Yep. Camouflaged 2. That's why it wasn't just obvious on sensors. Oh, hey, this isn't actually Harusk. Like you actually had to put effort into interpreting the scans. And the last one, coordination, and the most important one for you, coordination. They use pheromones to communicate with each other, and it's their primary method of communication. And I will tell you for free, from your xenozoology experience, it might be one of the easiest ways to suppress them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is this the kind of thing where I can make one that basically just tells them to, I make a equivalent pheromone that's like drop your shape shift and just go to sleep.
That would probably require lab time and a lot of work. The quick solution is a heavier than air gas that will disrupt the other gases in the air.
They lose coordination entirely because they can't talk to each other anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like turning off the lights. Like it doesn't prevent someone from using their eyes, but there's just, the information's gone now.
Okay, which would hopefully the disorientation would give me enough time to put together something a bit more substantial in the lab. Is that something that I'd have to do a test for to do the disruption, or is that something I could do with momentum? Because I have things that
It's
will
not
let
something
me.
you're going to be able to do. It's something you're going to have. You could do it, but it would be something you'd have to get to a console or have someone on the bridge do.
Could I at the very least spend 2 bonus momentum, which I can generate off of one of my medals? The Medal of Honor, to create a trait that like I know the exact parameters that I can work out the exact parameters of that disruption.
Yeah, you know, your attention turns to an emergency equipment area, and you see the heavy engineering suits for radioactive contamination, and you think you could flood this area with an inert gas. You're going to have to get everybody here into suits so they'll continue to be able to breathe. But it will suppress their ability to communicate. And you don't think that they engage in any, from your scans, they don't seem to engage in any kind of gas
Hunting.
exchange. So it's not going to stop, it's not going to kill them.
Okay. That's the important thing.
Question: are suits necessary, or would like a respirator mask do?
A mask would do because it's inert.
Yeah.
The danger
I was just
is,
like-
is if you don't have a mask, you wouldn't know you're suffocating until you die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like your
That
lungs
was
would
just
just
like
fill
a
up and
question
you would
because a
fall
suit
over.
is a lot more complicated to hand out than a mask is. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Additionally, I could reduce the cost of it. I can reduce the cost of medical equipment by 1, and I assume those kinds of masks would actually be medical equipment.
There'd be engineering in this case because it's like this is the thing you can get to with just opportunity cost and not
Mhm.
having to like go to a different part of the ship is the
Engineering suits.
the equipment that the repair teams use.
Damage
Okay.
control.
Repair teams. Yeah, damage control teams. But is that the order you're going to give and information you're going to pass up to the bridge?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm going to go to Revere and let him know because he is the engineer and he's probably the one who's going to have to implement that down here.
Not tonight.
Yeah, we're about to close. We're about. You can roleplay
Yep.
out. We're about to close out.
Revere to bridge.
What?
That'd be weird.
Revere?
Yeah.
Not Revere, sorry. Tuir.
Weird. Even you're getting confused.
Bridge here, go
Look,
ahead.
We're all tired. We're all very tired. I may have come up with a solution to disrupt these creatures. I have determined that they are amorphous beings with no real sapience to them. They are hunters that communicate with pheromones.
Do you have a recommendation I could pass up to the Commodore?
Current recommendation is that with the assistance of the engineering team, we flood this deck with an inert gas and wear hazard response gear in order to safely traverse it. The gas will render the creatures unable to communicate with each other and disorient them,
I scribble
which
all.
will
Oh, there's more.
which will give us enough time to effect a more permanent solution. I believe it may be possible to create a pheromone that incapacitates them entirely, but that will take time.
Very good, Doctor. Stand by. I'll scribble down what he's
What?
told me onto a pad and.
Wait, but we know Harusk was in there at one point. That was really Harusk. What if he's still in there?
That is why one of the things that the XO asked was a verification of if any of our personnel are actually in that room or not.
Oh, did we get that?
I
No.
will spin thread
Okay.
real quick. So
But are they all dead?
spend 4 for reveal as Revere and the Doctor are discussing if y'all should really go through with this plan. You enter this room to grab the emergency equipment as y'all are discussing, can we take the risk? What if they're still alive? What happened to them?
Boo.
Well, this doesn't seem like a good development.
And you see, hey, stop playing with my threat.
It's right there, though.
Don't leave it
You
in
see
my...
suspended from the ceiling
Good God.
in a sticky web, the 4 missing engineers.
Oh my God! Here, help me get them down.
Along with
Hurtada! Ha!
I was gonna say the actual doctor.
Another
oh
one of them.
no,
I've been
we
here
have
the
a
whole-
large ship now, and large ships can have non-essential and sometimes even non-Starfleet people on board.
Oh my God, there's more hanging from the ceiling.
Do.
As the song "Strange Fruit" begins to cycle through
You see the Commodore's wife with them.
Okay. Before I go, do we know that the Commodore's wife was on board?
Yes, this is what
Like,
I
legit.
alluding to. It's a larger ship, and Solaris is about to take up command of a star base once it's finished being built. So there's room for things like that. So
Well, at least the captain's getting her ashes hauled regularly. She'll be easier to deal with.
4. What's the threat cost for the big guys? It's 2 for mage,
Or reinforcement.
intermediate. Yeah. I keep having to ask. I keep forgetting. Don't know why.
I want to say 4 for a big boy. Let's. 2 for notables.
Nope, 1 step up from that.
Not. It doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything about majors.
Oh, okay.
Usually they're just there. If it's a ship, it's the scale of the ship.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay.
Damn it, Corbinian!
Why did you... No.
We'd be
Stop
sitting
that.
here for 5 minutes, him figuring it out. I saved you all time.
2,
You whatever
At
helps
what
you sleep at
cost?
night, man. But we know the
At
truth.
what cost?
2 threat, and Solaris, out of the back of your eye, you notice Cien on the bridge. Probably because you're on duty past the expected time and just curiosity. It's not the first time she's been up here.
Mm-hmm.
And scale 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no idea what to do with the last 5 threat. I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
What do I do with the
Solaris.
last 4 threat? Hold on.
Oh,
There's
okay.
something else about to happen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
gosh.
Do what you did, Doctor. Oh God, they beamed into the bridge. God help us.
Screen.
Oh.
You see a D7 as Ensign Kaufman says, Commodore, a D7 is approaching the border. Have not crossed yet.
get to be in a destroyer at times like these.
Yeah, she sort of jokingly turns back to Cien and says, and you were afraid that it would be dull being on a starship. We have an Orion free trader currently attempting to avoid regulation, and now we might be facing a diplomatic incident. Hail the D7, see what they want.
Commodore,
How could this possibly get any worse?
As I imagine Artana goes to complete that order.
no. I hold out. I very quickly push the orders the doctor gave to me and his recommendations, and then race. Then I race back.
Okay.
Because I can't just gas a place without the Commodore saying it's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So I put those orders. It's I'm about to say something. That happens. Hand you the pad and quickly go back to the comm station.
Okay, so what
So
have you
Lorisa
answered
turns
me?
her attention back, and Artana, you're typing away at the console. You feel an unusual presence next to you, Artana, and you look up to the inquisitive eyes of the Commodore's wife, and she says,
Marmalade. I don't know.
"Food? Eat." And then slowly begins to transform.
Widgy.
And that's where we'll close out.
Okay.
Squidgy.
All right. For all of you watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing and running, thank you very much for doing so. And we look forward to seeing you again another time. Have a good one. Bye. We're all gonna die. Well, not me, but the rest of you are probably gonna die.
Who says I can't end at a decent hour?
Me, I can say that.
I had a long look in the proverbial mirror, and decided I had to cut this one into two before even starting.
You saw what was coming over that horizon.
I think I'm gonna.
All
head
right,
off
guys,
because I
enjoyed
still
it.
Feel very sick. So good
Oh,
night.
Yep.
hope you feel
Catch you guys
better.
later.
Feel
Yeah,
better.
see you later.
Yeah, hope your cough gets better.
Cough. Man,
Nah.
that's a reference. It's not much of one.
And just for my clarification, this is indeed. I'm currently playing the fellow that came from that colony, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
We never figured out what the